All right. Thank you very much. Good to be here. And thank you all for joining us on this Tuesday evening. Tomorrow morning we set sail for the IFAF Podiatry Conference in Las Vegas. So if you're going to be there, drop by and say hello. Anyway, so tonight we're talking about an interesting subject matter, one simple step to increase your practice's revenue by $1 million in a year. And for those who don't know me, my name is Randy Rossel. I'm the National Director of Podiatry Content Connection. A little bit about us. We've grown to become the #1 comprehensive digital agency for podiatrists only. We only work with podiatrists. So doing that for 10 years now, basically helping private practices attract more new patients from the web, enhance their reputation online, and all kinds of great things to basically grow the practice. So we also give back to the colleges, not all of them, but several of them, including it's been New York, Temple, Kent State, and Barry University. Every month I initiated this program 9 years ago. So we're, take great pride in giving back to the industry that we serve. And as an important side note related to that, 2 of the colleges, Barry University and Kent State University, have been watching what we've been doing for their alumni to help the private practices grow, so much so that they want to get in on it. So we now do the online marketing for both Barry University, their clinics in Miami, and Kent State University, their clinics in Cleveland. So we appreciate that, and it's a great honor to represent the colleges. I'm always amazed when I go to these conferences, when I meet, even that we actually recently did a residency summit. I live in New York City. We did one in New Jersey about a month ago. And I'm just impressed when I see what it takes to become a podiatrist. 4 years of college, 4 years of podiatry college, 3 years of residency, 11 years of your life dedicated to preparing to become a foot and ankle specialist. And then, of course, the CE credits along the way, just like a professional needs to keep up with it. So in our mind, we think we're advocates for podiatrists. We want you to be successful. We feel that you deserve to be successful. So, but we've been snooping around a bit, love this visual. And what we've found is that a lot of podiatrists, really, you don't want to become what I call a best kept secret in your community because of things like being invisible on Google. I've met many of these doctors over the years where they have great experience, great credentials. They're leaders in the field supposedly, but yet they're invisible. You can't find them on Google, or they've got some negative reviews that keep people away, or they have a really old, outdated website that maybe their daughter did when she was in high school, or they have old, outdated social media, outdated information on directories where their name, address, and phone number is incorrect, or content that's outdated or no content at all, and kind of lose patients at hello, meaning that it's just a bad first impression. And nowadays, unless you're the only podiatrist in town, but nowadays, if you got any of those things going on, you could actually lose a new patient, at the click of a mouse, and in that moment, that patient is gone. And so, where are we going with all this? So let's start. So I want to talk a little bit about, online and digital marketing as an investment in your practice. 2 words, investment versus expense. So what is an investment? An investment is defined by Google as the action or process of investing money for profit or material results. And online marketing really is an investment in your practice. And that's really, I just want to say it again, but online marketing is an investment in your practice. And by the way, if you don't invest in your practice, you're making a huge mistake. If you don't utilize online marketing to promote your practice, what are you investing it in? Is it newspaper ads, radio ads, billboards, yellow pages? I mean, those things worked at some point, but the bottom line is that the eyeballs are all online. So a comprehensive web presence, meaning website and blogs and social media, reputation management tools, different advertising platforms like Google and Facebook. Those are the things that attract new patients to your practice. And so, you've heard the kind of cliche, it takes money to make money. And guess what? It's true. Take your marketing budget seriously. Unfortunately, many podiatrists, well, they just don't have a marketing budget. I don't want to say that they don't know what that is, but it just doesn't come up in their planning. And that's why I'm a proponent for coaches, because people need coaches. If professional athletes have coaches, professionals like doctors and lawyers and accountants should also have coaches. So, you should be investing in digital marketing, because again, that's where the eyeballs are at. So it says here, if you want to expand your brand or increase your sales and grow your business fast, then you have to invest money into marketing your practice or your business. Doesn't matter whether you're a podiatrist or a plumber. You got to invest marketing dollars into promoting your business. So, and then in this case, again, digital, you have to invest into digital marketing. So your business should be present and very visible in the online world, because again, that's where the eyeballs are at. Everybody and their mother has a smartphone, and that's where you want to see and be visible where people are looking. So, and with all this, why? This is I call it practice math, and I'm just kind of blown away by how many podiatrists have really never thought this one through. So, what is the value of a new patient? The value of a new patient on your practice over the first year, meaning initial visit, follow-up visits, procedures, maybe orthotics, everything, other services, repeat visits, referrals to the office. So over that first year, if you had a guess, and I don't have to guess because I've asked this question to about 4,000 podiatrists face-to-face over the last 10 years at the hundreds of podiatry conferences that I've exhibited at and spoken at as well. So the magic answer seems to be East Coast to West Coast, about $1,000. So tonight we're talking about how to bring in an additional $1 million into your practice. So we labeled this slide $1 Million Math. I just want to go through this with you because it's important to actually understand it. Because $1 million is a big number. Some people say, $1 million, your first million is the hardest, or $1 million doesn't go as far as it used to. And maybe those things are both true. But when we refine this down to your world, and how to add $1 million in revenue to your podiatry practice in 12 months, again, on average, if one new patient, like we just said, is worth about $1,000 in that first year. And of course, by the way, the lifetime value is much, much more. But if it's about $1,000, then let's take $1 million divided by $1,000. So $1 million divided by 1,000 is 1,000. So we need to help you get 1,000 new patients over the next 12 months. So when you break that number down, it's 1,000 patients over 12 months is about 83 patients per month. And 83 patients per month is approximately 20 patients a week. Based on a 5-day work week, that would be about 4 new patients a day. So when you have 4 new patients a day, not that bad. I just spoke with one of our customers just the other day, actually last week, telling me that we're getting him 13 new patients per day. That's a big number, but 4 new patients a day is what I'm talking about here. It's doable for most practices, but you need a marketing system that can consistently help you get that done. And if you reverse engineer those numbers, you'll see that it equals an additional $1 million in revenue, not necessarily profit, but revenue into the practice. So by adding $1 million in revenue to your practice, just by adding 4 new patients a day, that is some excellent return on investment. So question is, at this point, how do I attract 4 new patients a day? That's a question you're probably asking yourself. How do you do that? How does that happen? So with that, I want to bring in my associate, Carol Hackman, so she could speak a little bit about that, and then we'll flip it back to me a little bit later. So Carol, take it away.
All right, great. Thank you so much, Randy. So I'm excited to be here with y'all. So what's a great way? One step is online marketing. It's a powerful tool for attracting new patients. Like Randy was saying, everybody is I'd be surprised if pets don't have some type of cell phone with them, but everybody has a device on them. If they're looking, I was just sitting at dinner with my kids and we were talking about something. We're like, we're just going to talk and whip out our phones. And so we're in a search society. We're always searching for something, an answer to, when someone was born, to an answer to how do you figure out a math problem? But they're looking for also podiatrists online. So 99% of the time people are searching online to find you. They want to find a physician. Google receives over 1 billion searches a day in related to healthcare. I don't know about you. That's kind of mind blowing. I'm sure if the wind was blowing, it'd blow my hair back. But we'll go with the baby here. He's kind of cute. So how are people finding you? Well, there's organic SEO. And what that is defined by Google, organic SEO, organic search engine optimization. It's kind of lots of words in there, but that's SEO. Refers to the method of using to obtain a high placement or ranking. So kind of where you're showing up. Are you at the top of page 1, the bottom of page 1? Do you even show up on page 1? Or are you on page 10? On a search engine result page, an unpaid algorithm driven, basically saying they got they changed what they do, results on a given search engine. And time is a factor. You just don't shoot up on an organic search or organic SEO overnight. It does take time. And so how does Google decide who ends up on the top of page 1 of Google? Well, is your website friendly and easy to navigate? As you can see here, this is one of our clients, that you go directly to their website. Most people, when they wake up and they have a pain, they're going to search for that symptom. They're not searching for, the clinical term, because they probably don't even know what it is. Well, we do joke that people do have their PhD in Google, but you want them to be able to go to your website, find what they are looking for, so they are going to call you. Have you look at the professional that you are in person, have you show up online that way. So how do you do that? You put blogs and articles. So when I first heard of blogs, my first thought was, early back in the internet, in the 90s or something, it's like, oh, that's cute. That's someone that's, blogging about recipes or some Pinterest thing. No, they actually have a place when it comes to your Google ranking. So with blogs, people are searching. I remember when I managed a podiatry practice, we had patients come in and they're like, oh, I looked up online and I found, and I'm like, oh no, please tell me it wasn't on Wikipedia. So, cause you just never know what they're going to come up with. So you want them to find that information on your website. It's reliable. And it also has a companion article, which is more clinical, but the blog, you want to kind of dummy it down to layman's terms. So that way someone can understand it. This one is about pain in the ball of the foot. And it has, what potentially it could be, what it can cause. It's not diagnosing. It's not giving them treatments. That's why they call. And Google loves content. So by posting consistently online and having the consistency on there as well, you're going to drive up your Google ranking. I jumped ahead of myself. So good, consistent content is vital to staying on page 1. So if content is king, so that's where the blogs and articles are. So that's the content. Consistency is queen. They go hand in hand. They work really well together to get you to that top. But organic SEO, like I said, it takes time, but there is a way to jump yourself to the top and kind of widen your net, and you get to be in control of this. So this is awesome. So with organic SEO, and I get super excited because the power of Google Ads, it's misunderstood. And I love explaining it and watching people's eyes light up because of the power of what it can do for your practice. So organic SEO, Google dictates kind of like, hey, this is where we're going to let you be seen. And they don't tell anybody where the boundary is, where that geo-targeted area is. Google Ads enables you to target outside of that area. You get to pick where you're going to be seen and what you're going to be seen for. So let's just say, for sake of argument here, you got a really cool device. So it could be a shockwave system to something that treats, a laser. It could be whatever it is. You can say, you know what? I am going to use this. I want to target something because I have this new machine. It targets the symptom of heel pain because people are going to they're going to Google their symptoms. And then it's going to be in a zip code that's outside your target area. And you can be like, hey, I want to make sure I show up over on the east side of town. Boom, click that zip code. You're going to start showing up over there and gaining those clients. You get a pick. Love Google Ads. And they're in the moment ads. So what does that mean? So in the moment, someone is looking for you. They're interested in they're looking for you, basically. That's when you're going to show up. That's what it means for in the moment. They're looking, they're interested, They're trying to find you and boom, you're there. It's kind of like magic, but not really, but it's like magic. So how do they work? Well, you jump to the top of page 1 of Google where everyone sees you. You can get quick results by increasing your spend. So it is a pay per click. You win auctions for the best keywords in the area, and you dominate local searches with a combination of the ads and the organic listing. It's cool. They work hand in hand. You want both. So where you find them, so is at the very top, and it has that little ad thing next to it. You'll see on the right below the first Jeep.com, it says ad. Those, it will always tell you it's a paid ad. So that's where your Google ads are going to show up. So again, organic SEO, your geo-targeted area, Google defines it for you. Whereas Google ads, you get to take control of where you are going to be seen. So, and Google ads are effective because Google receives over 63 million searches per second. And healthcare is the third most popular term. I think that's pretty dang impressive. So, but there's another ad that I get asked about. Well, what about Facebook ads? I see them. They pop up. Everybody's on Facebook. Well, maybe not everybody, but we're going to go probably with, like over 80% of the population. The world population is on Facebook. It's huge. It's a huge social media network everywhere from wishing friends that you haven't seen since high school happy birthday, posting your vacation pictures, to funny memes. I may be known as the queen of memes, to posting about your business or a graduation. Who knows? Everybody's posting something, but you can leverage it, not just and you get to leverage it to attract new patients online. Let me talk about that for a little bit. So Facebook, ads that you run is through Facebook. They actually can show up on other places. You can send them through people, through Messenger and other websites. So here's an example of what an ad looks like. It does say it's sponsored, but here's cool. So yeah, there's like 3 billion users. Okay, so I exaggerated when I said 80%. It's 68%. My bad. Let's be honest. People don't have it. They probably live under a rock. I apologize. No, I'm kidding. But a lot of people have it. 96% of social media marketers believe that all platforms out there, Facebook provides the best ROI for social media. Facebook, we just had a big world event. A lot of that was spread through social media too, on information about the Queen's Pass. So how they work. It's interrupted marketing. So you're not able to target necessarily what someone's looking for at the time they are, but they are called to action. You are able to share them via email, Messenger, and through friends on Facebook as well. So here's a few things that you get to target. Locations, you can do cities, communities, countries, demographics, age, gender. Now they do have changed these a little bit, but these are kind of the basic ones. Job title, interests. So what are your hobbies? Do you like organic foods to, a movie genre, and behaviors based on prior purchases. They like tracking. What can I say? But you get to decide overall, your overall budget, your daily cost, and your cost per results, and you get to put in the demographics and everything that you're searching for. So they have all their tracking. So you have tracking trends. You get to choose your campaign goal, whether you want it to be brand awareness. Well, it's what I'm assuming right now is you want it to be lead generation. You want to get those new patients, and you can adjust to accommodate those goals. So I get this question a lot too. Are Facebook ads and boosting a post the same thing? No, they are not. They are very, very different. So boost post is simply a current post on your business Facebook page that you put money behind to reach a targeted audience. So just to kind of like make more brand awareness. A Facebook ad is more thorough, thought out campaign that you put in options that aren't available to boost your post. So you're able to pick, like I said, you have the demographics, you have locations, you have people's shopping behaviors, all that you get to put in to actually, so it shows up in more places that are relevant to those that are on social media. So the goals of A boost post is to increase the engagement of the Facebook post. If you want new patients and you want it to be more website focused, you want a Facebook ad. So what does all this mean? So I'm a little parched, so I'm going to turn the time over now to Randy again.
All right. Good job, Carol. Thank you. So what does it all mean? Mean for your practice? So what, just to sum up, Carol was mentioning about Google ads really get you to the top of page one, which is where, of course, everybody wants to be because you want to be more visible online. Facebook ads with about 3 billion users, which is mind-boggling. Yeah, amazing information to be able to target an audience. And so they're both very powerful platforms, although, there's nothing quite like Google. By comparison, Facebook is kind of like interruption marketing, but they both, drive more potential new patients to your website and enable you to schedule more appointments with prospective patients. So a lot of times, Carol and I do these presentations. We could speak about this stuff for an hour or two, but we recognize it's a Tuesday evening, and we're just kind of touching on this stuff. So a lot of times, podiatrists that have never done much in the way of marketing online can feel a bit overwhelmed. I also caution, don't try this stuff at home. Don't attempt it. So all successful leaders and businesses always are great delegators, and it's easier said than done, especially if you're a small private practice. You want to just kind of keep things in, but it's a very healthy habit, and successful leaders and businesses and private practices delegate and outsource. So maybe some of you on here tonight have maybe tried to do Google ads or Facebook ads on your own, and you're saying stuff, it really didn't work. Kind of crashed and burned, because my corny analogy is that if you have a problem with heel pain, I'm not a good person to turn to. You wouldn't want me working on your foot. But the same token, podiatrists should stick to, if you're a foot and ankle specialist, that's where you add value. Don't try this stuff on your own. So, then other podiatrists have kind of sat on the sidelines and watched their competition using things like Google ads and Facebook ads to grow their practice. And you're more of a spectator. So, and then, if you're curious, and I love this image, curious about them, but have maybe not taken the plunge yet. When is that going to happen? It's not like this is crazy expensive to test the waters a bit with Google and especially with Facebook. So, but great image. Or maybe between Carol and I, we might have piqued your interest and opened your mind, which is a very healthy thing, by the way. Keep an open mind to a new marketing channel that you've yet to explore that could really benefit your practice. I mean, just because your practice is at a certain point right now doesn't mean you can have a view of possibilities of where it could be a year or 2 years from now, because marketing is a thing. It is, for so many practices, that is just a complete game changer when you get it right. So if any of that stuff described to you guys, probably makes sense to schedule what we call a web strategy session, which we do a lot of preparation for. And so it's it's really a great opportunity to get a complimentary analysis of your overall web presence or lack of, so you don't need to be an expert on this stuff, because we've cracked the code on how to use Google ads, Facebook ads to grow your business, and how to use organic content to give you visibility. So we're really good at this stuff. It's taken us a decade, but we're really, really good. And like I said at the very beginning, we'll become the #1 online, comprehensive agency for podiatrists only. So we're good at this. And so, we help our customers. I mean, I don't mean to brag, but why not a little bit? Most of our customers, our podiatrists earn more money than other podiatrists. They're dominating in their areas. And why? Because they just have better marketing. That helps them. So we have kind of secret software that we've developed over the years. It helps with Google ads and content marketing and different things. We have amazing tracking vehicles and dashboards, et cetera, to show you what's working and how it's working and where things are coming from, great analytics, and really get clarity of goals and action plans that when you see them. And then during our review calls, which is kind of like our thing of huddling with our customers to do these, similar to a strategy session is one thing to look at you, but when we're working with our existing customers, it takes on a new meaning. And that's how we really get to know our customers and their practice and help them win. So we kind of, if need be, adjust. So I encourage you guys to take advantage of this. Most podiatrists, not everyone, but so many podiatrists, after they attend a web strategy session, are kind of blown away, and they end up thanking us, saying this was really eye-opening and got great clarity from this. I never knew this, and maybe they never knew how invisible they were when people were searching heel pain in their town or in their preferred, outside their hometown area, or that they had a bunch of negative reviews on Google or Health Grades or whatever, or that their website is not ADA compliant, that it's legally, it's not legally compliant, or they don't have digital HIPAA compliant intake forms because during COVID, some people are still very paranoid about touching pens and clipboards. So digital this, digital that. So there's a bunch of tools that many podiatrists are utilizing, and there's a lot of podiatrists that are not even aware that these things exist. So again, we make this available to show you what's possible based on what you're doing. So we look at kind of the good, the bad, and the ugly. What are your strengths? And if there's weaknesses, we're going to point out the strengths and the weaknesses to show you some areas of improvement that are available to you. So if you're interested in this, my number there is 917-572-5088. That's actually my cell. So you can text me and just send a message that says web strategy session. As I mentioned, I'm heading to Vegas tomorrow, and Carol's actually heading to a conference in Texas this Thursday. So we're doing two conferences, podiatry conferences simultaneously this week, which is exciting. But, whether it be next week or the week after or next month, whatever works for you. But that's my number, and Carol's is 732-451-7091. And my other contact information is down below, including my email. And